A new year, a new time, and a new direction. Think about that for a minute. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So we are on the eve of a new year. So for some of you, it is a new year. No matter where you are on the planet, you need to remember a few things. One, you are not alone. You may think you are, but you're not. Number two, the calendar's flipping. We are going from 2025 to, yes, 2026. How time goes by so quickly. Usually the videos I create are about the narcissistic relationship and about what the person did to you and how you need to recognize what they did is real. How they tricked you, how they trapped you, how they blamed you, how they manipulated you, abused you, and that you need to get away from them. This video is about that to a degree, as are all of the videos I create, but this video is more to let you know that this is about to be a new year, a new calendar year. Now for me personally, who's healed, I'm 99.9%, and I don't believe anyone's ever going to get higher than I have, but doesn't mean somebody won't. Calendar year is just another flip of the date. To me, days are what matters, not necessarily the year. This is post-narcissistic relationship. When you're in the cycle, you lose track of time. It seems like one day lasts forever, and then sometimes it seems like that day goes by too quick. You never know what's going to happen when you're trapped in that narcissistic abusive cycle, but I'm referring to when you're out. And this is for you, for those of you who have broken the chains, who have broken the trauma bond, who are removing yourself from the toxic person, who have cut or whom are cutting the four ties, the emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and yes, the spiritual tie. You need to understand that the further you get away from the narcissist, the better off you will be. The further you get away from the narcissist, the more the clarity will return to you. The more the clarity returns, the more you see what they did to you and how they did it. And the more you see that, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the weaker they get. And the weaker they get, eventually they have to slither off elsewhere to a new source of supply or to their parents' house, standing downstairs in their basement who hasn't been refurbished since the 70s, and they're probably watching an old box TV with a shag carpet that hasn't been cleaned in 30 years or longer, 50 years. And they are not having internet signal because their life has gone sideways. Now again, I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I'm not going to start now. I'm just letting you know that this video is going to shift in a different direction. I'm referring to you, the healing path, and why and how it takes so long, and that you will have to put yourself back together, sometimes second by second, sometimes minute by minute. As you heal, those seconds and minutes, they turn into hours. The hours turn into half days, they turn into days, and then weekends and weeks and months, and eventually one day, over time, one day you'll wake up and you won't have that narcissist living in your mind rent-free. You won't be thinking about them the way perhaps you are thinking about them right now, or you certainly did think about them in the past. You see, you are healing and you're understanding that yes, this is what people call New Year's Eve, and of course the calendar is going to flip, or it already has, no matter where, depending upon where you live. But to you, you should be documenting mentally how far you have come in the journey of healing. You need to know now that no one can heal for you. No one's going to knock on your door and tell you, hey, I'm here. Here's a magic pill to consume or a magic wand to be waved and you're going to be fine in a couple minutes. It doesn't work that way. That's why this is a journey for one, by one, and to benefit one. And I had to teach myself that years ago, which is why I'm teaching that to you right now. So a new time, a new year is how the video started. A new year, that's 2026 we're almost in. Usually I don't document the years, but I'm going to, because for a few reasons. One, if this is the first video you're consuming, you're going to have to stay on the path, stay on the course. If this video is the 5,000th or the 10,000th video you've ever watched, or maybe more, well, then you're coming back to get your cup full and you're topping yourself up with information, with wisdom, with knowledge, with community, with abundance, with honesty, integrity, with growth, with commitment, with the third version of you. Now, for those of you who don't know who the third version of you is, I will just briefly mention it to you. I've described this for almost 5 years of videos. There are 3 versions of you. The first version of you is who you were before you met the narcissist. You were a clean slate, you were naive, you were uneducated on toxicity, and you did not know that narcissism existed. You probably were an empath and an open book. where maybe even wearing your heart on your sleeve. Well, that version doesn't exist any longer. Second version of you was who you became, a shell of yourself, if you will, when you're trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle with the narcissist. You became the unpaid helper, the walking apology, the sounding board, the cook, the cleaner, the chauffeur, the errand person. You were being sleep deprived. You were being emotionally deprived. You were being counter-parented, not co-parented. You were being financially abused and more. That person was a human piñata, if you will. That person was a person who was being peppered with abuse. And the more you stayed in that relationship, the more abuse you experienced. The more you experienced, the more you try to get back to the beginning of the relationship, when everything appeared to be puppies and rainbows, unicorns and butterflies. Well, that was the love bomb stage, or the euphoric stage. And that's when the narcissist was trying to lure you into their web of manipulation. Now, the third version of you is the healed version of you, or the version of you who is healing. This is the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. When you are healing, this is when you really focus on yourself and you're not focusing on the narcissist. Yeah, there's still things you'll have to experience, and still you'll get triggered, and perhaps the rumination is around every now and again, or you'll have challenging holidays or special times of the year. I get the whole thing. I had to go through it myself. But as you heal, and as the calendar flips, in essence, a new year, as the thumbnail mentions, you will get stronger. As you get stronger, you will see things really clearly. Now, I've said that a few times in the video to illustrate and to highlight that this is work you're doing, whether you know it or not, if you've made it this far in the video, and this is work you will continue to do in the new calendar year. Now, this is a new year we are entering. This is a year of change. This is a year of abundance. This is a year of growth. This is a year of blocking the narcissist. This is a year of boundaries. This is a year of finally cutting those ties. Maybe you've cut 2 of the ties and you have 2 more to cut. Well, maybe 26 is the year you cut them both. Maybe you have 1 tie that you've cut and you've got to cut 3 ties. Well, maybe 26 is the year you remove the other 3 ties. Maybe you've cut 3 and you're down to 1. Maybe 26 is the year you cut that tie. Maybe you've cut all of the 4 ties, and you right now, maybe at the strike of midnight, wherever you're living, or watching this video, instead of watching the ball drop in New York City or wherever you are, and you're watching the video and you're saying, you know what? Andrew's right. I'm here. I'm at the pinnacle. I'm at the mountaintop of indifference. All the things that mattered to me in the past, they don't matter to me any longer. I now see who people are. I now know what toxicity is. I now know what empathy is. I now know that I'm stronger than I ever thought possible. And I don't have to do the things I did before, but more importantly, I don't have the 800-pound gorilla on my shoulders. I'm not carrying dead weight. My money's not going to a vortex. My time and energy aren't going to a bottomless pit. And somebody is not sitting next to me on this couch at midnight abusing me, or ignoring me, or giving me the silent treatment, or acting like they don't hear what I'm saying, or they're not sharing memories with me, etc. Now again, if that's you, and maybe you're watching this video before midnight, any way you cut it, if you're out of the relationship, you need to stay out. And the further you stay out of it, the more you realize that everything you've ever wanted in your life is within you. You were looking for another person to fill you up. You were looking to be in a committed, healthy, stable 2-way relationship. What you got was the relationship from hell. What you got was a parasite trying to feed off of you. And unfortunately, as I was, you were a host. You're no longer a host, which is why when 26 the calendar flips, if it already hasn't flipped for you, meaning January 1st, 2026, this perhaps is when you are looking forward to 2025 being closed. Maybe 2025 was the year you got divorced. Maybe it was the year you got custody of the kids. Maybe it was the year that you discovered what narcissism was. Maybe it's the year you changed your phone number. Maybe it was the year that you relocated. Maybe it's when you finally started doing things that you wanted to do in the past, like you participated in new exercise groups or hobbies. Whatever 25 was for you, it was a pivotal year in your life, no matter how you cut it. Because either you were in the narcissistic cycle, you were about to be out of it, you were out of it, but anyway you cut it, it was changing you. It was different. That's why you're in the third version of you, or you're about to be. So now, the first part of the thumbnail mentions a new year. The next one is a new time. Why I say new time for the video is because you're now getting the wisdom. You're not who you were 9 minutes and 55 seconds ago. You're not who you were 10 days ago. You're not who you were 2 weeks ago. You're not who you were the day you met the narcissist. You are evolving, you're growing, you're ascending, you're changing, you're elevating. You are dynamic. You are shifting your energy and your attention. And remember, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. You're shifting it away from the toxic parasite back into yourself. You are not trying to fill a boat that is being capsized because the narcissist was puncturing thousands of holes in it, and your job was to fill the holes. And they were doing it deliberately, intentionally, and on purpose, and you're not doing that any longer. So when that boat capsizes, you're not in it any longer. You are now where you want to be, or you're headed to where you want to be, which is a place that I have called the mountaintop of indifference, the pinnacle of indifference. And if you're there, great, you need to stay there. If you're not there, and probably you're not there yet, or you're close to being there, then what you need to do is continue to work on yourself. You need to maintain your boundaries. You need to realize this is a new time. This is not uncharted territory specifically. There are probably parts of it that are the unknown for you, and the unknown is where the abundance happens. The unknown is where the growth happens. But by now, if you have known what narcissism is, and if you've watched my channel and followed me for years, you now know what gaslighting is. You now know what triangulation is. You now know what the silent treatment is, and on and on and on. So you've learned the definitions and the glossary in the narcissistic abusive cycle. That's why this is a new time. With this new information and education that you've acquired or you are acquiring, you need to understand this is a superpower. And with any superpower comes great responsibility. With great responsibility comes great power. Great power comes great responsibility. You should know by now where that came from. Yes, of course. We know where that came from, and I continue to use that phrase because it's true. Imagine, if you will, if you never knew what narcissism was and you were still stuck in the fog, you were still spinning your wheels and a person was still abusing you, stringing you along, blaming you, hanging up on you, walking 30 feet in front of you, triangulating you, ignoring you, ghosting you, giving you the silent treatment. Imagine, remember those days when you didn't know what was going on? Not a good place to be. But now you're realizing that you are stronger than you know. So that's why this is a new year and this is a new time. This is your time. There are so many videos over the years. I've created almost 5,000. This could be the 5,000th, I'm not sure, that I've shared with you that you can take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book, that you can do things in time, in your time, when you want to. You can sleep until noon, you can stay up till 4 a.m. You can do whatever you want to do when you've healed or when you're healing. It's not a coincidence I've coined those phrases and used those terms, because that's my life. I'm living them. There was a time when I was not getting much sleep at all, constantly being peppered, sleep deprived, not knowing where certain people were, what was going on, what the agenda was, when it would be changed, where we were going, what we were doing, what we had to buy, what we didn't have, who needed what, all these things. I was juggling multiple things at any one time. When that all goes away, this is when the relationship ends, by the way. When that all goes away, there's a huge void that needs to be filled. And usually when you don't know what the narcissist had done to you and you don't know what narcissism is, and I shouldn't say usually, every time, you are left for dead. You don't know what's going on. And you're missing your abuser. You're missing the person who was manipulating you, and they did it on purpose, deliberately and intentionally. Well, then you are one of the fortunate ones, one of the strong ones, and you put yourself back together, or that's what you're doing, just like I have. And when you finally see where you were in a long time ago, you realize you're never going back to that hellhole again. When you realize where you are now, this time, notice what I'm talking about with the thumbnail, this is a different time. The calendar has flipped. You are now elevating, you're changing, you're growing. Your energy is now going into you, not into that bottomless pit. So that's why the first two parts of the video I've shared, a new year, calendar's flipping, a new time, this is your time, and a new direction. You see, the direction you are going in, whether you know it or not, specifically if you've made it this far in the video, is you are going higher, you're elevating. It started with one person, the narcissist. This is the person that rocked your world and showed you what evil can do, that evil actually has 2 feet, and it walks and talks like you do, and it wants to blame other people for their own misgivings and problems, and it wants people to do things for them. And once that person, the toxic person, yes, the narcissist, gets whatever they want from somebody, they usually discard them or crumble them up like a sheet of paper, throw them away in the freeway. I had a person that I worked with years ago, and I shared this in a couple videos. They once told me, You're dead to me. When I heard that, I chuckled and I laughed. And this was at a lunch on a Friday. I'll never forget it. It's as if it happened a moment ago. And I couldn't understand why that person said what they said to me. Well, now I know why they said it. That was the discard during a lunch on a Friday years ago. I didn't know what narcissism was. I didn't know that parasite was discarding me right there at a table of about 30 people, but that's what they did. Again, I didn't know what I know now. Now I know. Now I see it crystal clearly. That's why I create videos and pay it forward each and every day. That's why this is my time and this is your time. So the new direction you're moving in, it's away from the narcissist. It's breaking the chains. It's crushing the shackles. It's removing the 800-pound gorilla from your back. It's cutting those 4 ties I shared with you earlier. It's healing and healing properly. It's understanding that you are stronger than you know. And yeah, the calendar's going to flip. It is your time. And the new direction you're going is as far away from that person as you possibly can get. I'm not referring to physical proximity exclusively. I'm referring to getting them out of your mind, getting them out of your house, getting them out of your emails, getting them off your phone, removing any item that they gifted you, which probably you paid for, or if they did pay for something that was probably bought at the 99-cent store, and they probably tried to haggle that and get it down to 59 cents. And even then, the coffee mug that you got that perhaps said Feliz Cumpleaños probably had a few cracks in it. See where I'm going with all this? That was then. This is now. So the new direction you're going in is the abundant direction. It's the direction of you. This is why you are the priority, and you come first, second, and third. And many people, when I first started sharing that concept that I coined years ago, said, wait, you're selfish. Like, why would you say that? Well, I'm not selfish. I'm anything but selfish. I'm a person who's healed. I'm a person who's elevated. I'm a person who is the beautiful, bright, shining light, just like you are. So when I say first, second, and third, I'm not saying wish ill will upon somebody or do something mean to somebody. Quite the opposite. I'm saying have your boundaries, maintain your boundaries, respond if you want to, learn to respond, not react. Just because someone contacts you doesn't mean you need to communicate with them. And no, I'm not referring to the narcissist. They should be out of your life by now. I'm referring to anybody. So example, let's say you got invited to a party tomorrow or over the weekend. Hey, showing up, it's going to be great times, and maybe you don't want to go. Truth is, you probably don't want to go. And if you don't want to go, you can politely decline, or maybe you don't even answer. It's up to you. Use this and use it wisely. It's with phone calls, texts, emails. It's with everything. Just because somebody reaches out to you doesn't mean you have to communicate with them. You're under no obligation to do that. Remember, when you were trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle, you could do no right. No matter what you did, it wasn't right. So now when you've healed and you realize that this is a new year, a new time, and a new direction, the direction is your direction, then you understand, wait, I can do whatever I want to do. No one's controlling me. No one owns me. No one can guilt me. No one can blame me. No one can say, oh, you're such a downer, or oh, you've changed, or oh, you're different. Well, you know what? Truth of the matter is, yeah, you are different. Yeah, you have changed. You know what you've done? You've broken the curse. You are the generational curse breaker. You've broken the trauma bond, something that few people will ever even understand. You've healed. You've risen through the ashes like a phoenix, dusted yourself off by the bootstraps, and put yourself back together against all odds. You see, your average person who perhaps will get a little upset because perhaps you didn't attend an event or respond to an email or a phone call or a text, and that person hasn't been through the cycle, they will say, well, I guess they're too good for us or whatever. No, that's not the case at all. The case is now a new year, a new time, and a new direction. What that means is you're conserving your energy. You're no longer a people pleaser. You're no longer a yes person. You're no longer trapped in the cycle. You are no longer doing what the common person does. And you will say to yourself right now, wait, how does he know that? I know it because I'm living it. That's what I teach every single day. This is the healing path, people. The healing path is not linear. It will take time. It will take a lot of time. But in your time, you will heal if you utilize the tools that I provide for you with each and every video I create, and from all of the absolutely spectacular and amazing comments from all four corners of the globe. There are so many countries represented in the community. I'm not going to name them all, but it's upwards of 110. These people who are scattered all over the planet, who have healed and or who are healing, they are beautiful, bright, shining lights. I am one of them. So whether I'm in the Carolinas, in a different country, at the beach, in the mountains, in the snow, in the rain, in the winter, in the spring, in the heat of the summer, no matter where I am, I'm with you. I am the light. You are the light. That's why this is a new year. That's why this is a new time. And that's why this is a new direction. You need to embrace it. You need to understand that what happened in the past actually happened. You need to understand that the past needs to be healed from. That's why this is the relationship you must heal from. You need to also understand that narcissists will continue to do whatever they do. They will have to do it as long as they're away from you because you have blocked them or you have gone no contact and you're maintaining your boundaries. And that pitiful, pathetic, anxiety-riddled creature will have to slither off elsewhere. This is what happens when you get untrapped, when you get untethered, when you break the chains of the narcissist. You ascend and elevate to uncharted territory that you cannot imagine until you arrive there. When you arrive there, you will be standing right next to me at that mountaintop, that pinnacle of indifference. That is your new direction. That is the direction of peace, of serenity, of calmness, of trust, of honesty, of integrity, and of authenticity. None of those things does the narcissist possess, and they didn't want you to maintain them for yourself. So before I close the video, you need to understand a few things. This year, the calendar's flipping. It's a new year. To me, I'll be blunt, I paid attention to the last 6 years of my life more than any other period of my entire life. I remember 2020 like it was yesterday. I remember 2021, 2, 3, 4, and last year. Because I am awakened and aware. I'm educated and empowered, and I've been to hell and back. That's why I have a rock solid memory of the truth. And that's why I pay it forward every day to help you break the cycle. You are stronger than you know. That's why to me, today, it's another day in the calendar. 2026 is simply another day. Flip the calendar, doesn't really mean much to me. Years ago, it meant a lot to me. It almost took me down for the count. Coming up January 6th, 2026, it will be 5 years because January 6th, 2021 is the day I almost didn't exist. That's a whole different video, but I'm here. That's why I am an abundant, like-minded person as you who has healed. That's why you need to understand this is a new year, a new time, a new direction. And it is your year, your time, and your direction. So that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it. Loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I looked over there because I thought I heard a deer or something, but I didn't see one. I saw one earlier and it jumped super high. But nothing here in the video. Just want to let you know, play the video, play it a few times, and recognize if you are by yourself today or tonight, it's okay. I was like that for quite a long period of time. If you are by yourself because you want to be by yourself, that's fine. If you are going to attend anything with anybody, make sure you're with the right people. Make sure you maintain your boundaries. Do not overshare information, and make sure that you trust your instincts, your intuition. We are all on the healing path, headed in the same direction, simply taking different footsteps. This could be, you could have healed 10 years ago. Maybe this is the video that helps you heal. Maybe you just got discarded a couple months ago. Maybe you finally got their light bulb moments and you're seeing left, right, and center what actually happened to you. Wherever you are on the journey, you are headed to where I am. And there is more than enough room for you and for anybody who is trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle who does the work. That's why I am reaching my arms down to lift you up with all of the others that I've helped over the years. I can help you too. You need to believe in yourself the way I believe in you. So this is a new year. This is a new time, and this is a new direction. I love you all. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I love you guys. Happy New Year wherever you are, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. This was fun. Bye.